When my roommate Danny moved out, I put up a listing on Craigslist. I was 27, living in a two-bedroom apartment in Chicago, barely covering rent. Within an hour, I got a message from a guy named Ben, mid-30s IT consultant, relocating from Ohio. He offered to pay 2 months' rent up front and could move in that weekend. Fast, eager, maybe too eager, but I was desperate. We spoke on the phone once. He sounded normal enough, calm, quiet. We agreed to meet Saturday at noon. Ben showed up 10 minutes early. Tall, thin, glasses, carried just a duffel bag. "I travel light," he said with a small smile. Something about him felt muted, like he moved just a half-second slower than everyone else. Still, he was polite. No red flags. That night, I fell asleep to the sound of Ben softly pacing in his room. The first week was fine, though we rarely spoke. He cooked his own meals, labeled everything in the fridge meticulously. Milk, eggs, butter, each in bold Sharpie like he was afraid they'd disappear. One morning I noticed he'd labeled my orange juice, not Ben's. I laughed it off. By the second week, things got weirder. I'd come home to find drawers slightly open. Not mine, his. Every one. Like he started to unpack, then changed his mind. He began locking his bedroom door even when he was inside. Sometimes late at night, I'd hear the sound of him whispering. Not on the phone, just whispering to himself. Once, while brushing my teeth, I glanced down the hallway and saw his door was cracked open. He was just standing there in the middle of the room, in the dark, staring straight ahead. I didn't say anything. The turning point was the hallway light. It flickered out one night while I was working late. I asked Ben the next morning if he'd noticed. "It's not out," he said flatly. "You just weren't looking at it the right way." That made no sense. I checked it again. Bulb dead. I replaced it. That night it flickered again, then went out completely. I told myself it was just cheap wiring. Still, I started keeping my bedroom door locked. One evening I came home and saw Ben sitting on the couch, staring at the blank TV screen. "Hey," I said. He didn't look at me, just said, "It's almost time." "For what?" He finally turned his head. "You'll see." That night I woke up at 3:13 a.m. to the sound of scratching. It was soft, like fingernails across wood. I turned on the light. Nothing in the room, but the scratching kept going. I followed it quietly into the living room. Ben was crouched beside the front door, fingernail pressed against the wood, slowly dragging it downward. Scratch. Scratch. I stood frozen. "Ben?" I whispered. He didn't look up. He just whispered back, "It's okay. It won't be long now." I backed into my room and locked the door. I decided he had to go. I texted him the next day saying something came up, and I'd need him to move out by the end of the month. He didn't reply. Instead, I came home to find every mirror in the apartment covered in bed sheets. When I asked him why, he simply said, "It's safer this way, for both of us." I took the sheets down. That night I found all the kitchen knives missing. Just gone. Every drawer, every cupboard, empty. I confronted him. "You took the knives, Ben. Why?" He looked genuinely confused. "They were never there." 2 days later, I came home late from work. The door was unlocked. Inside, the apartment was dark. I flipped the switch. Nothing. From the hallway, I heard soft breathing. Then footsteps, slow, deliberate. "Ben?" I called. No answer. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. Ben was standing at the end of the hallway. His face looked wrong, his eyes too wide, lips curled slightly. "Why don't you lock your window at night?" he asked softly. I hadn't told anyone my bedroom window had a broken latch. I backed away, into my room, slammed the door, locked it. That night I didn't sleep. I left the next morning before he woke up, took a bag and stayed at a friend's place. That evening I came back with a cop. Ben was gone. No duffel bag, no food, Nothing. Just an empty room and a small sticky note on the mirror. Thanks for letting me stay. You really shouldn't have looked behind the walls. The cop didn't find anything. But that night, back at my friend's place, I opened my bag. Inside, wrapped in a paper towel, was one of my kitchen knives, and underneath a second sticky note. Still not looking close enough. I moved. I changed my number. Deleted social media. Months passed. Then last week, I got a text from an unknown number. No words. Just a photo, my old hallway, from inside the apartment, and a message. It's almost time.